Imagine you're calling a live stadium show. The pyrotechnics are cued, the band is in position, and suddenly your central intercom hub just dies. The whole show goes completely dark.
Yeah.
Today, your deep dive is looking at a $630 piece of gear that ensures a disaster like that never happens again.
Right, because nobody wants to be the one on comms when everything just drops out.
Exactly. We are looking at the Punqtum RIE-4900030 digital Partyline Beltpack. Okay, let's unpack this. Because traditional intercom systems, they usually operate like a spoken hub bicycle wheel, right?
Yeah, exactly like that.
So if that center hub breaks, the entire wheel just collapses. But this Punqtum Beltpack acts more like a beehive. Every node operates independently and shares the workload without, any central master station.
That beehive analogy is spot on, actually. I mean, we are really stepping away from the era of heavy proprietary master hubs. Now we're relying entirely on these flexible, decentralized data networks.
Which is pretty wild to think about.
It really is. It completely changes the physical and operational footprint of a live production environment.
Yeah.
You just don't have this massive rack-mounted brain anymore.
Here's where it gets really interesting, though. I mean, I have to push back a little on this premise.
Okay, go for it.
Relying purely on a standard IT switch to handle critical show comms without a dedicated traditional master station sounds incredibly risky to me.
You'd think so, yeah.
Right. Is that actually a reliable setup when a stage manager needs to call a queue with zero delay? Or is it just a recipe for network chaos?
Well, if you connect this to the bigger picture, it's exactly that decentralized approach that creates ultimate resilience. Instead of all your audio routing to one central brain that can crash and take down the show, each belt pack has its own processing power.
Oh, so the switch isn't doing the actual processing.
Right, exactly. The standard IP network switch is merely directing the traffic. So if one belt pack gets crushed by a road case, the rest of the network doesn't even blink.
Wow, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and plus, since you're powering these via standard power over Ethernet, you can easily daisy chain them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. If your network switch uses the newer PoE-BT standard, which pushes higher wattage, you can link up to 8 belt packs on a single cable.
8 of them, just off one single cable.
Yep, 8. And with the older PoE at standard, you can link 4. And, you don't even have to throw out your old gear to upgrade because they still take standard 4-pin headsets.
Okay, I see the theory there, but backstage is a brutal environment. How does this thing actually survive, like a spilled energy drink or a sudden rainstorm at an outdoor festival?
Yeah, the elements are always a concern.
Right, because a decentralized network doesn't matter much if the hardware itself just fries mid-show.
Well, they've actually accounted for that ruggedness. The hardware has an IP54 weather rating.
Which means what, exactly, in practical terms?
Well, it means it's highly resistant to dust and water splashes. So it's, perfect for those sudden festival downpours. It also features a sunlight-readable display.
Oh, that's super handy for daytime gigs out in the sun.
Absolutely. And if you pair it with a speaker station, the system can handle public address channels and GPIO outputs.
Remind me, GPIO, that's for triggering things, right?
Exactly. GPIO means you can physically trigger external devices straight from the network. So like firing up an on-air tally light outside the studio door, all while users can talk or listen to any 2 out of 32 available party lines at once.
That is a lot of flexibility. Okay, but my absolute favorite feature has to be the 30-second audio replay for missed calls.
Oh yeah, that feature is an absolute lifesaver.
It really is. It's essentially a mini DVR for your headset. So there's no more panicking and yelling over the comms like, wait, what did the director just say?
What's fascinating here is how that specific feature targets the actual psychology of live production.
How so?
Well, in a high-stakes environment, human error is your biggest liability. Say a stage manager is waiting for a pyro cue, but a loud crash on stage distracts them for just 3 seconds.
Right, which happens all the time.
Exactly. And in a traditional setup, missing that call creates instant panic. But with this, they just tap a button, hear the 30-second replay, and calmly confirm the cue.
That is huge.
It drastically reduces cognitive load. It acts as a psychological safety net, basically keeping the entire communication loop totally efficient.
So what does this all mean? Ultimately, this Punqtum Beltpack is a rugged, flexible tool that completely decentralizes live comms. It takes the heavy point of failure out of the equipment racks and distributes it safely across the network.
It really does shift the whole paradigm of how we rig these shows.
Now, it does come with a $630 price tag, but if you look closely at the source material, there's actually a checkout code 5% off to soften the blow just a bit.
Which makes it a very smart investment. I mean, when you calculate the savings from not having to buy and maintain those vastly expensive proprietary central hubs, the return on investment becomes incredibly clear.
Yeah, the math definitely works out. And since we've completely eliminated the central hub for audio, it makes you wonder about the rest of the production rack. Oh, for sure.
Right. If vital second-by-second live event communication can run flawlessly over masterless, decentralized IP networks, how long until